Hi, I'm Bodie Moore. I'm the director of the Anthracite Heritage Museum in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I want to thank Helen for letting us participate in your program today. Our museum is a cultural heritage museum, and we focus on the stories of the millions of people that came to Pennsylvania from around the world to mine anthracite coal. Now I'm happy to turn it over to John Fielding, our curator, to talk a little bit more about some of our collections. How did Northeast Pennsylvania become a textile center?
Northeastern Pennsylvania became a textile center for three primary reasons. The first reason was that in the 1840s, we have Paterson, New Jersey, starts to grow as a textile, particularly lace manufacturing center in the United States. The lace manufacturing in Paterson, New Jersey becomes it's kind of old school. They're using primitive machinery. It's kind of expensive. The labor force there is more skilled. So the owners by the 1870s start looking for other areas in the country. This area met several criteria. One is that there was an abundance of labor through the recent immigrants coming here, particularly the wives and daughters of the immigrant miners who settled in this area, as well as cheap labor or cheap fuel, such as the anthracite coal, which would be used to power the factories and machines in those factories. And third, was actually several different technological advances during that time, which automated the lace process. So in 1872, the city of Scranton gets its first lace mill. But increasingly during the 1880s, and particularly accelerating even more in the 1890s, early 1900s, Scranton, the city of Scranton, the Lackawanna Valley as a whole, and the Lehigh Valley are part of the anthracite coal region of Northeast.
What is the significance of the textile and lace industries in Northeast Pennsylvania?
So the textile and lace industries in Northeastern Pennsylvania, their significance really begins in the 1900s. So what we have is in 1900, the industry is still growing here. Paterson, New Jersey still is in the United States. Paterson, New Jersey is the epicenter of the lace industry in the United States. By 1914, Pennsylvania overtakes Paterson, New Jersey as the epicenter of United States lace manufacturing. In 1907, backtracking a little bit here, the total employment in Pennsylvania working in lace mills was over 27,000 people. And that kind of makes it a little bit more significant. And it's about 30% of all of the lace workers in the United States in 1907 were located in Pennsylvania. So fast forwarding 1914, Pennsylvania overtakes New Jersey as the epicenter in the United States of the lace manufacturing. And the United States also, at that point in time, begins to take over other countries and becomes the leading supplier of lace in the world. So this center, this little area within northeastern Pennsylvania, concurrently was the top anthracite producer of the world, as well as the top lace manufacturer.
How is the lace industry reflected in our collection at the Anthracite Heritage Museum?
So the lace collection is reflected in a variety of ways in our Anthracite Heritage Museum. First of all, in our archival collections, we have a roughly 250 cubic foot collection dealing with the Scranton Lace Company. Now, the Scranton Lace Company was founded in the city of Scranton in 1890 and was incorporated in 1897. Now, this company, the Scranton Lace Company, from 1916 to its closure in 2002, became and remained the largest Nottingham lace producer in the United States. And some of the collections that we also have reflect machinery that was used within the Scranton Lace Corporation, such as this machine behind me. This is an actual Nottingham lace machine. This was one of 15 machines that the Scranton Lace Corporation started with in 1890. And this machine was the last machine that was in use. It was in use the day they donated it to the Anthracite Heritage Museum in 1984. And so they were still using these machines even into the 1980s. And we do have some fabrics of pattern being produced on our machine now, so visitors can actually see what some of Nottingham lace look like from this particular machine. Other machines that we have for the lace industry include a warping machine, a reeling machine, winding machine. So we do try to get the process and talk about the entire process of throwing and warping the various textile together to make our finished product.
So, John, tell us a little bit more about the history of Scranton Lace.
So, as I mentioned previously, Scranton Lace was founded in the city of Scranton in 1890. By 1916, Scranton Lace had become the primary and largest Nottingham lace manufacturer in the United States of America, which it would hold that title until its closure in 2002. Now, during the 1940s, the Scranton Lace Company continued to expand. Eventually, it had offices in Kingston, New York, Chicago, Illinois, and Los Angeles, California. The workforce also grew to nearly 3,000 employees. The plant its main plant in Scranton, Pennsylvania, occupied a 9-acre plot of land. It was a very large, complex industrial site for that time. And while the company continued to financially kind of grow into the 1950s, it began to expand in other realms, and such as during the 1940s, it cooperated with the United States government to make parachutes for the military during World War II. Those subsidiaries kind of went out of business after the war effort, but it was still making a profit. So during the 1950s, they began to diversify even further, and they began investing in the infant movie and television industries in California. And through a series of kind of bad investments with some production studios, the Scranton Lace Corporation ended up losing a lot of money and reducing and closing a lot of its operations. And they never financially recovered from those operations. So from about 1954 until they finally closed in 2002, they gradually began to reduce their production and subsequently the supply of Nottingham lace that they produced.
That was really interesting. And thank you all again for listening to our short program. I hope to see you all this afternoon. And if any of you are visiting the United States, come out and see us in Scranton, which is 2 hours west of New York City. Thanks.